Ever wondered if your light pollution filter is actually hurting your Galaxy or Nebula photos? I put this to a test on two tough targets, the Whirlpool Galaxy and the Ghost Nebula, which is a reflection nebula. And the results might surprise you. Let's dive right in. I shot over 400 minutes of data, which is about 6 hours, with and without my L-Pro filter, using my Celestron 130mm and Zwar ASI 533 MC Pro one-shot color camera. The difference? It's not what you'd expect. Stick around to see which setup wins and what you should try next. Hey, I'm Carl Pereira from Astro Imagery. If you shoot from a location like me where there's a lot of light pollution, you probably use a light pollution filter. I know I have for all the years that I've been doing astrophotography, and I really am surprised to say that I haven't actually tried this experiment before, although I read a lot about people saying that you don't actually need a filter and that filters are blocking out a lot of important light, especially when you're imaging things like galaxies and other broadband targets. So I'm asking the question today, is using a filter actually helping, or is it actually blocking the light that you want? Today I'm comparing real data side by side so that you can see the truth for yourself. Before we get started in this, let me tell you about the setup. For the Ghost Nebula, I shot 81 exposures at 300 seconds each without any filter. Last year I imaged the Ghost Nebula and I took 41 exposures of 600 seconds with the L-Pro filter. So that's about the same amount of total exposure, even though, this is not an exact test because my exposures this time were only 5 minutes, whereas before the exposures for each sub were 10 minutes. But apart from that, I'm trying to keep the test as similar as possible. And for the Whirlpool Galaxy, I took 77 exposures, each of 300 seconds, without any filter, and the previous filtered data from last year. So same scope, same camera, same mount, and approximately the same total exposure time. The only difference is filter or no filter. Let's look at the Ghost Nebula first. Here are two versions with stars, one with no filter and one taken with an L-Pro filter. The same process was performed on each image: a color calibration, a gradient extraction in Graxpert, and an auto stretch. Nothing else. Go check out my last video to see how these techniques are done. The link is in the description below. Let's look at the results. The no filter shot seems to have a lot more color in the highlights when I look at it, and the darker nebulosity also seems to be a bit more vibrant. I don't know what you see, but I think I can see a little bit more red in there. But on the other hand, the filtered image has a much cleaner and flatter background, which is interesting. Honestly, though, I think it's quite a close call. I'm definitely going to come back to this question in future. Now let's take a look at the Whirlpool Galaxy. Without the filter, I can see more natural color, especially the blue. And there's a bit more detail in the faint arms. There is more detail around the galaxy, and the image is overall brighter and looks so much better to me. The filtered image was easy to process, but had much more noise in the background, although this was easily removed. The final images compared showed that this time there is a clear winner: no filter. So I think what we can deduce from this result is that it appears that for broadband galaxy images, we should use no filter. So this is the L-Pro filter. Here is my camera, the ZWO 533 MC Pro. I take this L-Pro filter, which is basically a light pollution filter and a broadband filter, and it is recommended actually for use on galaxies and reflection nebula. And I've used it now for several years, but Is this a good filter to use for galaxies and reflection nebula? I've got a nose cone on here. I screw this filter on simply like that. This camera sits in the focuser of my telescope and take the images like this. The use of this filter may actually block out some of the light that you need to image galaxies or reflection nebula. Now you might be wondering, if the filter blocks some of the light, does that mean I need to change my exposure time? Let's talk about that. Adding a light pollution filter like the L-Pro can affect the exposure time that you need for your images. Why? The filter blocks certain wavelengths of light, including some from your target object, so less total light actually reaches a camera sensor. As a result, to achieve the same brightness or signal in your images, you may need to increase your overall exposure time. That could mean taking longer individual sub-exposures or simply stacking more frames to build up the signal. So if you're switching to a filter for the first time, don't be surprised if your images look a bit dimmer at first. Just remember, longer exposures or more stacked frames can help you get back that lost detail and brightness. Have you tried imaging galaxies or reflection nebula without a filter? What worked best for you, with or without? I'd like you to share your results or questions below. What worked best for you? It'd be great if you'd share your thoughts with me. It doesn't take a moment to contribute. Come on, let's get this discussion going. So should you ditch a filter for broadband targets? Is it equally true for both galaxies and reflection nebula? I'm not sure that I can actually make a definite statement on the last question, because the reflection nebula that I chose, the Ghost Nebula, is an extremely difficult and faint target, and I'm not sure that it's absolutely the best target that I could have chosen to do this experiment on. So do stick with me, as perhaps in future videos I can look at some other reflection nebulae and see how they respond to the no filter treatment. I'm thinking especially of the Cave Nebula and maybe the Iris Nebula and different nebulas that I could try, because I actually believe that different nebulas may respond in different ways to this question of whether or not to use a filter. But I think for galaxies, we've definitely shown here that there are significant advantages to removing the filter and using no filter whatsoever. We don't want to block any light going to a galaxy. I think that's shown quite well by the results here. If you want the cleanest background, it does look like you should stick with a filter, depending on your level of light pollution also. If you're chasing, on the other hand, faint color and detail in a galaxy or a nebula, I say try going filterless. The only way to know for sure is to test it for yourself, just like I did. I'm definitely going to come back to this question in future. If you found this video at all helpful, I'd really like it if you'd subscribe and like the video. Add your comments, what you think I've been able to show in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.